Hi everybody, it's day 13 of my year in food, and today is a very special day indeed. We've got a dear friend coming in town, so with anybody that I really love and appreciate, I want to make them something that they will love and appreciate. So her request is something New Orleans. So I thought, what better to make for someone than the ultimate food of love, which is gumbo. And why is it food of love, you might ask? Because it takes a lot of time, a lot of love, and a lot of patience. So all those things are important with somebody you love, right? So why not make food of love? So we're gonna do a gluten-free chicken and sausage gumbo. And this is something I've grown up eating, and it was one of the first things when I was diagnosed celiac, I had to have gluten-free gumbo. I had to make this happen. So this was one of the first recipes. It took a while, but I cracked it. It's one of my most favorite food memories from my childhood growing up, and one of my most favorite things to make someone. So it does take a lot of time and a little bit of prep. So you have to kind of know that going into it. This is not something you're gonna throw together in 30 minutes. You have to make your roux, which we're gonna make, and we'll show you how to do that. And that in itself is about 30 minutes just to make the roux. And then the other stuff takes about another 2.5 hours. So it really is a labor of love. So we're gonna get this going now because my guest is landing 2 hours time, so we need to get cracking. So let's go look at all the produce, look at all the yummy stuff, and we'll get cooking. Okay? Day 13, my year in food, gumbo, food of love. Let's go. So this recipe, and I'm actually going to be cooking from this. This is my first cookbook, the Gluten-Free Table, and this recipe's in here. It's called the New Orleans Chicken and Sausage Gumbo, and that is in my first cookbook, which you can find here. That's the cover. Gluten-Free Table. The recipe's online, so you can find this recipe in case you need all the steps, which I would advise for any gumbo recipe. And you can go to www.lagossigirls.com and you can find a gumbo recipe there. And really we're just substituting a little, I'd say about a pound of chicken tenders for the duck that's on the recipe on the website. So you can log on there, find it there. Look at this bounty, this plentiful bounty. This is everything that is gonna go into our chicken and sausage gumbo today. So let's get to the most important part, of course, is your roux with any gumbo. So I'm gonna be using, you could use any gluten-free flour blend that you like, but this is what is our tried and true. We use this for all our cookbooks. It's Arrowhead Mills gluten-free all-purpose baking mix. And this for me is really proven to be the best thing for gumbo. So that's what I'm going to be using. And with all roux, you want a cup, you want equal measurements, but a cup of flour to a cup of fat. Could be butter, could be oil. But we are going to do a cup of flour to just some vegetable oil. Then we'll add our holy trinity. So onion, celery, bell pepper, we've got garlic, we've got cayenne, of course, you have to have some cayenne. And, oh, hey, Dad, some essence seasoning, which is going to go onto our chicken, which I've got about a pound of chicken that we're going to dice up, bite-sized pieces that we'll add later on. And I'm just going to do that with a bit of oil and some essence as a little marinade. We've got some nice andouille sausage. You definitely want good andouille if you can find it, or you can use a smoked sausage, like a kielbasa even, would be great. Some fresh thyme, we've got bay leaves, lots of herbs, everybody, in this. And then we're going to finish with some beautiful fresh parsley and green onions. And of course our chicken stock, I'm doing the low sodium again. So some low sodium chicken stock is also going to go in for our liquid. Now all of this, with any gumbo, I would recommend you use the recipe. So this recipe is on our website, www.lagossigirls.com. You can find the recipe on there. It's a duck and sausage recipe, so just substitute chicken for the duck, a pound of chicken. Or you can just find any gumbo recipe and substitute gluten-free flour, and boom, the world's your oyster. All right, so we have a lot of work to do. We got a lot of prep. We've got to get things going because that roux is going to take us 30 minutes. So let's get prepped and get our roux going, and I will see y'all in just a moment. Day 13, my year in food. So you can see we've got a lot of stuff to prep and chop and get ready. So I'm going to just follow my recipe. As with any gumbo recipe, I would suggest you follow a recipe for it. And this you can find online. I think you can find our gumbo recipe in a few places, or you can go to LagassiGirls.com and find our recipe there. So I am going to get my skates on. I'm going to get chopping and prepping and get our roux going, because that's going to take a good 25 to 30 minutes. And with any roux, you want to cook it for that long because you're cooking out the flour, right? And usually when it's a traditionally, like a wheat flour, your roux would get nice and dark and chocolatey brown. And I just find with a lot of gluten-free flours, it doesn't work like a traditional wheat flour. So you might not get that chocolatey, deep, rich color. And today you'll see that we probably won't have that with our gumbo. We'll have like a blonde kind of a roux and a blonde gumbo, but it still tastes amazing. And it's just like the real deal. So you could never tell it's gluten-free. And I'm sure when you make this for your family, if you don't say anything, they won't know. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get chopping and prepping, and let's get our roux going, okay? Cup of flour, cup of oil, medium-ish heat, wooden spoon, very large pot. Let's make it happen. This is why gumbo is a labor of love. Because you can't leave or take a bathroom break. You have to be here at this pot, stirring constantly for 30 minutes. Now, if that's not a labor of love, honey, I don't know what is. I got my jams on, have a little Mardi Gras mambo while I make my roux. It's bubbling really nicely, and it smells almost like toasted flour. That's what it kind of smells like. So that means I'm cooking off the flour, which is what I want. Look at me giving you all my gun show. I'm so sorry. So this is coming along really nicely. We've got another 20 minutes to go before we can add the Trinity. Right there. Okay? So this is why you should have a friend over, have a little wine, have a chat, have a giggle. I'm horrible with my left hand, so I'm going to say goodbye. And I will see you when it's time to add this Trinity in about 20 minutes. So it's been about 30 minutes. It looks amazing. I'm going to add the Trinity with the garlic. And I'm going to sweat this out, stirring constantly still for a good 5-6 minutes until all the vegetables get nice and soft. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm also, once this is done, then we're going to add in the sausage and the thyme and the bay leaves. And we are going to get this gumbo coming together really soon. Okay, critical point, I'll be back. 5 minutes now with the Trinity in there. Working along, looks beautiful. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the sausage, the bay leaves, and the thyme. And we're going to let that go for another 5 minutes. Can you see me? And now I'm going to go in with some cayenne pepper, a good generous shake. A good shake, I told you. And then just a little bit of salt and pepper. And you got to keep stirring, y'all. So stir, stir. Keep this going another 5 minutes, then we're going to add the stock. We've got about 6½ cups of stock going in, okay? I'll see you in a minute. It's been a good 5 minutes with the sausage, the thyme, and the bay leaves in. I want you to get in here. I don't want to lose this. Can you get in there and see what's going on in that pan? That's what you want. Homemade tripod is proving very helpful. Okay, so this is great. This is now the crucial part. We're going to add the liquid. We're going to add the stock, 6½ cups, into here, and then we're going to get everything incorporated. turn it to a boil. You want to bring it to a boil, and as soon as it boils, knock it down uncovered. We're going to simmer on a low heat for an hour. Now, the reason we're bringing it to a boil is because, as with anything that has flour in it, you won't know how thick everything will be until you add liquid and bring it to a boil. So, that's what I'm going to get onto. I'm going to do that. Get this boiling, knock it back down, and we're going to let this go for an hour uncovered, okay? And then at that point, we're going to add in the roughly a pound of chicken breast tenders, just diced up into bite-sized pieces with a bit of Creole seasoning, essence. I use my dad's, just what I always cook with. You can use any Cajun seasoning that you want. It's a lot, I know. This is why I've got a recipe for you, in case you can't follow along. All right, I'm going to get back to this. Gumbo is a labor of love. I've warned you. See you in a moment. Okay, so it's been an hour since we added everything in. So now we're going to add the seasoned chicken into the pot, give it a good stir, and it's got 2 more hours. Stirring occasionally, uncovered, and I'll see you after that. 2 more hours. Okay, so the gumbo has been cooking along for 2 hours. It smells amazing in here. They're getting cocktails ready, so I'm going to finish this off, and I'm also doing some plain white rice to go on top as well, and I've got a lovely big salad just to kind of help balance out all the naughtiness that's going on in this pot. Okay, so we've got some lovely green onions. We're going to add that in. You could save a little too to garnish on the top, and then all that lovely fresh parsley chopped up nice and finely, and that's going in. You want to give that another good stir. Oh, it smells so good. I can't wait to taste this and to serve this up. So we're going to give that another 5 minutes just to kind of let that parsley and green onion melt in. And then this is ready. We're ready to go. So we will see you at the table and see what our beautiful house guest thinks of her first gumbo. See you in a minute. This is it. The final product of day 13, my year in food. We've got our beautiful house guest here, and I'm gonna plate her up with a big old bowl of gumbo, which we have been working on for a few hours. So we're gonna put a nice generous scoop. You want a nice little scoop of rice in the bottom of the bowl. And then, can you get in there? Look at all that. The chicken, the sausage, the trinity, the herbs. We're going right in. Now I love my house guest, so I'm giving her a few spoonfuls. And then I just like to do a teeny bit fresh parsley, a little more of that green onion. And there you have it. That's day 13, my year in food. Our chicken and sausage gluten-free gumbo. I hope you all enjoy. Have a great night and enjoy cooking and eating with the ones you love. We'll see you tomorrow.